Hi, my name's Sandy and this is Richie, and we're from the Best Me I Can Be Body Composition Scans. In this short video today, Richie's going to take you through your results sheet. If this is your first scan, it's a really great place for you to start, and if it's a subsequent scan, then it's a great way for you to see whether your training and nutrition plan is getting you the results that you're after. So grab your results sheet and let's see how you've gone.
Okay, so now that you've had your scan done, you should have in front of you your report sheet as well as your full InBody 570 interpretation guide. What I encourage everyone to do is when you do have 10 or 15 minutes, just to kind of sit down, go through the report sheet. There is a lot of information on there and it can seem a little bit overwhelming when you first look at it, but really just sit down and analyze it and understand what everything means, and obviously then you can work out your plan of attack moving forward. Alright, so now we'll start with your body composition analysis. So basically what this is doing is breaking down the main four things which make up your total body weight. So firstly, we have your total body water in litres. It's basically saying to you how many litres of fluid you currently have in your body, and that relates to the intracellular and extracellular water levels. Underneath the values in the brackets are some averages also, so you can see where you're at. Underneath that we have protein. So protein works off the nitrogen levels in your cells. So higher your muscle, higher that reading will be, okay? A lack of protein also implies a lack of muscle mass and can possibly indicate poor nutrition. Below that is minerals, which is your bone, and then underneath that we have your body fat mass in kilos. So all of those things combined give you your overall body weight. Moving along from there, we have your muscle fat analysis. So we have your weight in kilos, your skeletal muscle mass in kilos, and your body fat mass in kilos again. So InBody work off what they call the traffic light system. So your results will make any three shapes. So first we have the C shape. What this generally means is that your weight is above normal, skeletal muscle mass is in the mid to low normal range, and then body fat is on the high to above side of normal. If this is you, then basically it's just saying stop, have a look at your training and nutrition, and essentially you may need to make some changes as we want to get your body into a more balanced situation. Then we have what we call the I shape. So the I shape indicates a uniform measure of body weight, muscle mass, and fat mass. Okay, so straight down the page, with no one area being more predominant than the other. If this is you, then again, it's basically saying to stop and have a look at what you're doing and implement some changes if need be. In some situations, you may have already made these changes. It's just that now we need to give it more time for the results to come through. And then lastly, we have the D shape. So the D shape indicates a high level of muscle mass with an ideal level of body fat mass, which indicates a well-balanced and trained body. If this is you, then just keep what you're doing already. Okay, so underneath that, we move into your calculated analysis. So firstly there we have BMI. So BMI is a widely used method to measure body mass. However, it can be a little flawed, as some people who have large amounts of muscle mass can easily be classed as overweight or obese. So it isn't really a highly desired method of analysing body composition. And underneath that then we have your body fat percentage. So the American College of Sports Medicine suggests body fat percentage of 10 to 20% for males and 18 to 28% for females as a recommendation for good health. Alright, so next we have segmental lean analysis. So basically what this is doing is breaking down the muscle that's contained in the main 5 areas of our body. Alright, so we have right arm, so you have your true muscle in kilos, your left arm, again true muscle in kilos, into your trunk, and then we have your right leg and your left leg. The main things we want to work out with this is obviously to make sure that with your arms left to right that you are even. So unless you're say like a hockey player or a tennis player and you have a reason why you predominantly use one side of your body more than the other, we want you to be as even as possible with those two numbers. Obviously then with your trunk, and then right leg and left leg, it's the same principle with your arms. We want to make sure that they're as even as we can. Underneath the value in kilos, we have a percentage, okay? So basically 100% is an ideal amount of muscle to have in that section of your body. If you have less than 100, then it's basically identifying an area of your body where you can improve your muscle mass in that area. If it is higher than 100, then that's fantastic. You can never really have too much muscle, I suppose. So, but the main thing as well is that you can make sure that with your right arm, left arm and trunk, they're classified as upper body, and obviously your legs are classified as lower. We want to make sure that upper to lower, that your body is as even as possible as well, okay? Underneath that, we have your body water analysis, or ECW ratio, which is a ratio of extracellular water to total body water, which is an important indicator as to whether the body is balanced. Okay, so the healthy range there is a reading between 0.36 to 0.39. If your reading is higher, then it can be suggestive of swelling, and it may require some intervention from your healthcare professional. All right, now body composition history. So essentially, if you get another scan done, you will get a whole new report sheet. However, it will just remember these main 4 values, so you can just keep track of how you're traveling. All right, so it's got your weight, your skeletal muscle mass, your body fat percentage, and your ECW ratio. Underneath as well, there's also a date and a time, so you can compare exactly what times of the day you had your scan done. Okay, so at the top right-hand side there, we have your in-body score. So the in-body score is basically an overall body composition score based off how much muscle you have, how much fat you have, and how evenly distributed it is throughout your body. And it can indicate things like how well trained someone may be, as well as their diet. It's a great accountability tool also, as when you get back on the machine, you always want that number to be increasing rather than going in the opposite direction. Alright, so weight control. So weight control offers you a suggestion of what your weight should be. It then breaks down how much muscle and fat we need to either lose or gain to get you to that ideal weight, which is then reflective back to our muscle fat analysis. Okay, so keep in mind that this suggestion doesn't take into consideration your goals nor your body type. So if it's realistic for you, then go for it. Otherwise, just maybe take it as a bit of a consideration. Alright, so next we have body balance evaluation. So body balance evaluation is basically telling us whether we are balanced left to right upper, left to right lower, and then whether we are balanced upper to lower. Okay, so you can either be balanced, slightly unbalanced, or extremely unbalanced. If you're imbalanced in any of these areas, then duck back across to your segmental lean analysis, and you'll be able to identify the areas that you need to work on. Okay, so next we have segmental fat analysis. So similar to your segmental lean analysis, basically what this is doing is breaking down exactly how much fat is in each section of your body. So we have there your right arm, your left arm, your trunk, and then right leg and left leg. So obviously you can see exactly where it is that you're holding fat in your body. I do kind of say to people, don't focus so much on the actual number itself, but more the percentage on the end. Obviously your trunk is a much larger part of your body, therefore you will always carry more fat in that section compared to the others. What we're sort of aiming for here as a bit of a target is anywhere from 85 to 150%. So if it is a little bit higher than that, then basically that's just identifying an area for you where if you do need to lose some fat, you can. Okay, so segmental circumference. So basically this is your measurements. However, it does take the measurement on the inside of your skin. So if you have used like a tape measure or something like that recently to measure up, there will be some slight variation to that. So obviously with this, for future scans, we just want to make sure that the measurements are moving in the right direction. However, I do tell people, just be consistent with whatever the method you're going to use. So if you're going to use the scan as your method, stay consistent. If you're going to use the tape measure, just be consistent with that as well. Just don't compare the two because there will be that variation between them. All right, so visceral fat. So visceral fat is the dangerous fat in behind your abdominal wall, which causes all your lifestyle-related diseases like diabetes and heart disease, that type of thing. Basically, what we're aiming for is a level between 1 to 9. So generally, anything higher than that, if you have a look at your segmental fat analysis, generally it will mean that your trunk fat is a little bit high. So lose the trunk fat, and generally the visceral fat will go with it. Okay, so research parameters. So the first one we have there is your intracellular water. So intracellular water is directly related to muscle mass. So higher your muscle mass, higher that reading will be. Same thing with extracellular water. It's related directly to intracellular water. So those two kind of work hand in hand. For the general population, you really just want those levels to be within the acceptable values on the right-hand side there. People like bodybuilders and things like that generally want their intracellular water to be high and their extracellular water to be low, so it makes them look big but lean. But as I said, for the general population, you just want those values to be within those normal ranges or just a little bit high is fine as well. All right, so your basal metabolic rate. Okay, so basal metabolic rate is the minimum amount of energy required to sustain vital functions whilst at rest. Okay, and it's directly related to your muscle mass. So higher your muscle mass, higher that reading will be. Waist-hip ratio. So waist-hip ratio is just a bit of an idea about how evenly distributed your fat is throughout your body. So obviously if you're carrying fat in one area more than others, that reading will be high. So if you address that, that'll bring your waist-hip ratio back down into the normal areas. Visceral fat we've already spoken about previously. Bone mineral content. So basically that's just the strength of your bones. It's very important for both males and particularly females as they're aging. Essentially for future scans, we just want to make sure that that reading is either staying the same or it is going higher, okay? If it is going backwards, it may indicate that there's something going on in your body. So yeah, definitely go and speak to your doctor in regards to that and they can see what's going on. Body soil mass. So body soil mass is just an idea of how much intracellular water you have and how much protein is in your cells as well. So it's kind of like your nutritional state. We find that with the general population that is in the normal parameters. However, if it is a little bit low, then it may mean that obviously you need to either work on your diet with your protein and things like that, and obviously increase your muscle as well. Arm circumference. So arm circumference, it works off your left arm because majority of the population is right-handed. So it is that measurement that's on the inside of your skin. The arm muscle circumference is the measurement around the muscle, and essentially the difference between the two, it's kind of like a pinch test. Okay, so basically it's just a bit of an idea around how your body retains fat. So yeah, we can just work on that for future ones. Okay, and that's it. So thank you very much for listening to this recording. We hope that you've had some great results and that you've got a good plan of attack now moving forward. And we can't wait to see your future scans. Thank you.